Thanks for checking out Next Level Carpentry. Lately around here it's been all doors all the time, and I don't know about you guys, but I kind of need a break. So I'm going to not do episode number 5 of the pallet door build video this week. This thing right here is the alder door that I'm building for a client. So I've got all this going on, but I still wanted to squeeze in a video for this week. You might remember this room. I don't know if you'll recognize it from the Carpenter's Superpower Sees Through Floors video, but this is the same area. The wing wall's gone, obviously. Countertops, islands, cabinets, everything's gone. And painters are in here going hot and heavy, repainting everything after texturing all the patches and repairs. So this thing's coming a long way, but obviously it takes up a lot of time. In about a month or so, new kitchen cabinets are coming in with countertops, kind of a modern, updated look for the home. And I'm excited about getting that done, but I'm also motivated to keep the pressure on and get this project finished so it's complete when the customer comes back. This is the small bathroom where I removed the smaller of the glued-on mirrors with shims in this other video, and it's all patched in magically so that you can't even tell that was there. This wall here, I was actually able to move it over a full 7 inches to get a 36-inch vanity instead of the 30-inch that was in here. Opens up the space, everything looks great, and I'm really impressed with the patch and repair work. This whole bathroom had some pretty nasty texture on it. It got skimmed, sanded, and now it's retextured and primed. Just gets a coat of paint here sometime yet today. And I'll give a shout out to Generations Professional Coatings. They're doing the work here. Scott, Josh, Travis, and Derek have gone through and made repairs to everything that got torn out and changed, and you just can't tell it was here. They're doing a great job. They'll be in here shooting a couple coats of paint in this bathroom later today or by the end of the week, and then we'll proceed with tile. Coming out of this back bathroom and down the hallway into the main area of the house, everything's masked off and taped off for a thorough facelift on all the walls and ceilings, and passing the kitchen and back into the master bedroom wing. A large built-in unit was removed and the wall cleaned up in the master. And you might remember but not recognize these two walls are the ones where I removed the large plate glass mirrors with shims. Part of the project is updating the tile on the floor. There was a built-in tub where the camera's sitting. Took out the tub deck. This gets a new fresh look tile and a freestanding tub in the room. And removing tile like this that was put down with Durarock that was mortared to the subfloor can be a real challenge, but there's a link to a video here about removing ceramic tile the smart way, and the method you see in that video is exactly what I used for pulling up the tile in this room. It's a great process, gets the job done. Now this is ready for the new Ditra decoupling mat and new 12 by 24 tile. The gang from Generations will be finished with this room today, so hopefully within a week or so that new tile floor will be down, and I can be a little less anxious about getting that phase of the job taken care of and not overshooting my completion deadline. The configuration in here is getting simplified too. There was a vanity there and a vanity here. This one goes away. The plumbing is reworked for a dual vanity on this wall. Nice, sleek, clean look, which is what I'm trying to accomplish for this particular client. And this is the area where there was a built-in Whirlpool tub at an angle in a deck in this corner. We pulled that out. We're going to put in a new sleek freestanding tub with a Roman bath filler. And the only reason I'm calling this out is with the new tub and the new location, it changed the position where the drain went out the floor. It moved it by about 18 inches. And while 18 inches isn't all that much, it's critical when it comes to plumbing venting. The code, as I understand it, says that the drain needs to be within 5 feet of the vent that goes up the wall and out the roof. And that extra 18 inches put us past 5 feet. And I mention it for anybody that's considering putting in a freestanding tub. You see them in these elegant bathrooms. The tub's in the middle of the room. There's not a wall within 5 feet. So it causes plumbing issues. My favorite plumber, Bruce, from Custom Plumbing, worked with the inspector and switched it to a reventing configuration. I'm not a plumber. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but I understand how it works, and I'm thankful that he was able to get it done. Bruce made me laugh the day he was in the crawl space replumbing that. I went down there to see how he was doing. He goes, yeah, I'm just down here building a screensaver. And anybody that remembers that old Windows screensaver with the plumbing pipes going around, you got a pretty good idea what that reventing looks like. But it's legal and it's necessary for a freestanding tub when there's not an accessible wall within 5 feet of the tub drain. All in a day's work on a remodeling project, right? You've heard it said that there's no such thing as too many clamps. Well, I don't know if this is too many or not. That's pretty much every clamp I own, clamping up the 2 stiles for that 3 flat panel Craftsman style door I'm building for the client. And takes a lot of clamps to get those stiles laminated out of 3 pieces of alder. But like the thumbnail said, this video is going to be about hammers and humor. For the hammer part, I rounded up every hammer I own and laid them out here on the saw. And I'll ask the question, if there's no such thing as too many clamps, is there such a thing as too many hammers? There's a lot of hammers here, and while it's every one I currently own, it's definitely not all the hammers I've ever owned. A number of hammers have failed in the line of duty over the years, but I just replace them and or upgrade them to make sure I have the right hammer for the job whenever I need it. The S-wing hammers in the middle here are kind of the meat and potatoes of what I have. Framing hammers ranging from 28 ounces down to a little 12-ounce trim hammer that I keep in the shop. I've always preferred the straight claw design. I don't like the goat's head that have the claws that hook way around. They just seem like they're bent to me. And I like the feel and the action of a straight claw, always have. The reason I call these the meat and potatoes of the collection is that a claw hammer like this can pretty much do the job of the rest of these hammers. It doesn't do it quite as efficiently as a specific hammer like a ball peen that comes in really useful for some stuff. And I got to swing a lot harder with a small hammer than one of these big Thor hammers. I like to file the claws sharp from time to time and grind the faces smooth after they get rounded off and too slick. So there's a little bit of maintenance involved from time to time. A ball peen hammer is a little more of a specific use hammer, and I keep a selection in the drawer in the shop, even though all the sizes aren't necessary. It's just nice to have a hammer that's sized for a particular task. This S-wing sheetrock hammer is a great hammer, but it doesn't get used much these days with the advent of sheetrock screws. Instead of pounding nails for hours on end, hold the sheets up, just a few are used now and then for tacking sheets in place. The waffle head on this hammer makes it great for driving the nails when I need to though. All the oddball hammers over here are body and fender hammers. These are from a former life when I did body and fender work right out of high school. So I've had some of these guys around since the late 70s, and they've never let me down. Dedicated use hammers over here. This is a dead blow mallet, or a musical instrument, depending on how you look at it. But the soft face on there allows me to pound on things that shouldn't be pounded on when adjustments are necessary. Big Thor and Little Thor are great hammers because of their dense weight and compact size. And then I've got 3 rubber mallets that I keep in the shop. They're nice for dry fitting or use during glue-ups when pieces of wood need to be tapped together for a final fit. And over here on the edge are a couple of Fringe Hammers. This is a slide hammer nail puller. There's a link to a video there if you want to see how to use this bizarre looking thing and avoid getting hurt in the process. And this is a slide hammer dent puller, also from the body and fender days. That's an old Blue Point thing sold by Snap-on. And that may well be the hammer that I've had longest out of this whole collection. And last but not least are my watch repair hammers, ranging from 2 pounds to I think that's 10, 12, and I even have an old double jack from who knows where that I fitted with a fiberglass handle. And even though they're originally designed for pounding railroad spikes, when the long nose of that hammer would clear the rail, this thing is great for busting up concrete. Having all this weight focused on just that small point will fracture concrete so that it can be taken out in chunks. So that's what that little guy spends most of his time doing. Everyone knows that there's special names for groups of things. There's a pride of lions, a gaggle of geese, a cacophony of crows. I think a cuddle of puppies or a cuddle of kittens. I'm making those up, but I want you to know that the official term for this collection is a pound of hammers. Moving on to the serious part of this video, I'll start with this poster, the Attention poster. You can get one of these on Teespring if you want, but this says, Attention, das Maschinen ist not for Fingerpoken und Mittengraben. Ist easy for breaking das Springerwerks, blown fusen mit lautisch Pappen und Spitzensparken. Ist nichts gewirken bei Dummkopfs. Das Rubbernecken, Sightseeing und stupidisch Goofoffers best relaxen. Keep hands in the pockets and watch the stuff come out. It is signed by das Management. And I want everybody that comes into the shop to read this and pay attention, because these tools deserve respect. Cheap wine comes in cardboard boxes and it's called cardboard dough. Well, this is a cheap door, so I call it a cardboard door. And it's particularly relevant these days when I'm building the replacement for this cardboard door with one out of pallet wood. You've seen episodes 1 through 4 are in the can. Episode 5 is coming up. Anyone who's spent much time in a shop realizes that when you're doing a boring task for hours on end, like sanding, your mind tends to wander, and when my mind wanders, it comes up with goofy stuff. So I tend to put labels and notes around so that when I'm working, I see this stuff, and it just makes the day go by a little faster. This bucket isn't a surprise to most viewers. It's full of sawdust, aka guy glitter, that I use for cleaning up wet glue. The sawdust is just a funny way of saying sawdust, and I got that from some guys I used to work with who for some reason couldn't say saw properly, and they were always going to saw off a board, so I guess this is sawdust. And it's just one of those little things around the shop that makes the day go by. A number of people have commented on this caution sign. That one always makes me chuckle, even though it has a salient point. Because this machine is such a beast, I've dubbed it the USS Powermatic, because it's like a battleship in the workshop. And I don't know what's so controversial about my Laguna 16 HD, but for some reason it's a bandsaw. I needed a nice bench vise, so some years back I bought this record 9-inch model. And speaking of that, the tools and supplies that you see here in this video are included in a dedicated Amazon influencers page. The link is in the video description so you can see where all this stuff came from. But I got this great record bench vise, and then someone told me what were once vices are now habits. So this is now my bench habit. And to make sure I don't get caught up in the crosshairs of political correctness, I also have a swivel habit. I've been wanting to call out some of these things in the shop for quite a while, but I finally got around to it. And that started me off on a rather lame course. And you can tell that because I now use a Think Earth saw blade in the table saw. Having these reminders around the shop also helps me work more carefully, especially when working with this kind of hardware, because I don't ever want to get burnt from a continuous singe. I also don't want to leave out important safety reminders in the shop, so a caution is placed prominently on my favorite push sticks, reminding me to keep a push stick between fingers and blade, with a cautionary warning that says, do not use remaining fingers as push sticks. And that leads me to my small lumber storage rack, where I keep 3 board feet of lumber. Most viewers know I'm not particularly fond of sanding, but using this Merca system really helps the time pass when I've got a bunch of sanding to do. But naturally, when I'm sanding, my mind tends to wander, which earned this system the nickname Colonel Sander. And that helps me to not chicken out when I'm faced with a lot of sanding that I don't really feel like doing. Naturally, when I'm drilling steel with a drill press, I use cutting oil so the holes drill cleaner and quicker and don't destroy drill bits. And that's when I grab a can of Kootenarl for the job. Judging by this performance, I am never going to make it as a stand-up comic, especially when viewers leave from nausea halfway through the performance. If by some chance you like this video, don't subscribe to Next Level Carpentry, because this is the best I got, and I'm going to switch back to woodworking videos. If you like woodworking videos, go ahead and subscribe to Next Level Carpentry, and you'll be noticed when new videos, not like this one, are uploaded. As the list of patrons grows on Patreon, I'll be able to focus on woodworking more and comedy less. But I would understand if patrons left after watching this particular video. For now, I got to get all these hammers put back in their toolboxes where they belong and get back to serious work to finish up that alder door so that I can do episode number 5 of the pallet wood door build video, which I hope viewers will check out when it gets uploaded in a week or so. So from the Next Level Carpentry shop, as always, thanks for watching. You know, I've been a carpenter a long time, and what you're about to see is a true story. When I was a young, ambitious carpenter, I once walked up to a job site to see if I could get a job with a framing crew. Sure, kid. I suppose we could use an extra hand on a crew. Let me see if you got what it takes. Tell me this, can you do this with your hammer? Yeah, okay. That's excellent. How about this? There you go. Okay, not bad, not bad. But I need to know how good you really are. Can you do this? Like that? Do I get a job? Yeah, not bad, kid, but go on, get the heck out of here. We got enough guys standing around here doing that already. And if you believe that, I got this fantastic oceanfront property in Tennessee for sale, and we need to talk.